Hi all, welcome to Guide Coaching Classes. My name is Moazzam Ali, and into our previous tutorial we have learnt about built-in functions. So what are built-in functions? We have seen couple of built-in functions as such as you can see on the screen that we have sign where we are checking the positive, negative and equal to less than equals to greater than or equals to 0. We were checking these three conditions. Then we had the square root where we were getting the square root of any number. Then we had the square. Now we are going to learn about the date function. So what are built-in date functions for SQL? So the first function which comes in, that is current timestamp. So using this function, we can write the current date time of the system on and we can print it onto the console. Similarly, you know we have the get date. So get date is also a same works as a similar type of function which gives the date time of the system. Now we have the third one, that is get UTC time. So get UTC date function, what it does is it gives us the coordinated universal time. That means it gives us the UTC time of the system. So basically it is used for the database management. Whenever we are managing the data at the time, we sometimes enter the data because of the geographically distributed locations. We want a data to be inserted on the current time of that particular system. So but our system or server is distributed into the geographical networks, so at that time we use the UTC date. Then the example would be simple. We will write get UTC date and we will get the date in the UTC format. Now again the fourth one, the function which is mostly used, that is isDate. So isDate, what it does is it takes the value, it takes the date and it checks that value, is it a date or not. If it is a date, it will return 1, that is true, and if it is not, then it will return as 0, that is false. Okay, so basically what happens is I will take you through the example first, and then we will discuss more about it. So uh, okay, here we are on to the console. So I have written all these queries to save our time by for writing those queries. So it will be quick to learn all these functions. So first of all, I will execute these three functions. So as you can see, I have executed the current timestamp and date, get date and get UTC. So you can see the difference. The current time is this. The get date method has executed and it has written the date time like this. Then we have UTC. So if you see this 2022-09-16, this is common, but the time which is coming into date time and in date UTC is different because it is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of the time. So that's the reason it is coming like this. Okay, now moving on to our next next functions into the SQL, that is date add. So what it does is it adds the date into certain dates. If we have certain date and we want to add some date into it, so we have this date add method. So like how to use it? So we will use it using the we have three parameters for it. That is, the first one is interval, the second one is number, and the third one is date. So if and the interval part will be holding either year, quarter, month, day of the year, day, day of the week, or week. So likewise we can have multiple intervals over there. We just need to write the interval first, then we will write the number, and then we will write the date. So if you see the example, we have select add date, sorry, date add, and then we have year 1 2021 08 25. So now what we will happen, this over here year will be added, 1 year will be added to this date, and we will get a result as 2022-08-25. If we similarly, if we add a quarter, so if we write instead of year we write quarter, there will it will add one quarter over there. So quarter comes with I think 3 months. So 3 months will be added directly. So that is here we have August. So August, September, October and November, it will directly go to November month for 25th of November. Then if we add if we keep month 1 month, it will be increased by 1 month. Similarly, if we do it for day of the year, it will work as a day, and we can also add a day over there. Then we can also add a week. We can add 1 week to the date. We can add a weekday. We can add the hour. We can add the minutes, and we can add the seconds as well into the date. So that is how the overall hierarchy of the date add function is. Now the question comes, like, why it is written why year, why is equals to year. So either you can write year, either you can write why 4 times, either you can write y, it will be equals to year only. So uh, these are nothing but the nomenclature for that particular interval. You can either write quarter, or you can write qqq, you can write month, or you can write or simple 1m. You can write day of the year, or dy or y. Then you can, if you want to add a day, you can write directly day. You can write dd or d. These are three options. Then for week, we have we can directly write a week. We can write ww or wk. Okay, then for weekdays you can see dw. Then we have W and hour for HH, and for minute MI or N, and then seconds for SS. Okay, so now we will quickly go and we will check the date add function. So now I will first of all execute this isDate. So isDate is left over here. So I will execute this. So if you see, my first date is a valid date, but my second date is not valid. If you see, my day, my month is correct, my year is correct, but my day is not correct. 285 I have entered, so it is giving me a result as 0, that it is not a date. Okay, fine. Then moving on to our next method or next function, that is date add. So I have written the four example of all the all the options available for the interval, that is for the year. This query returns the same result because we have written year, y, and year. So if you see, I have added 1 year over here. So if you see, it became from 21, it became 22, and rest of the details are same. So that way I have added 1 year to my date to forecast. If I do 1 minus, so it what it will do, it will simply go 1 year back. So if you see, 2021 became 2020. Okay, and here it became 2022 because I have added one date. Now similarly, if I go and if I do this for date add quarter. So what quarter does is, if I execute this, I to make it simple, I have added, I have kept my date is as 25th of January. So that January comes in first quarter. So now I am adding the one quarter more. So first quarter added one more quarter, that is quarter 2. So quarter 2 is so in quarter 1, that is January, February, March. Now in quarter 2 we have April, May, June. Okay, so let's see this quarter. I will execute this and we will see. So see, the fourth month, that is January, February, March. These are one quarter, and the fourth month is January, February, March, April. The fourth month is April, so it went to the second quarter. Similarly, if I do two, it will go to third quarter. It will go to third quarter. See, likewise it is going. And if I want to come back, I can do -2 and it will come back to it will reduce it. So if the year -2, that is quarter two quarters are less from the current date, that is 6 months are removed from the given date, so it became 2020 07 25. Okay, so now here that is just the nomenclature of quarter q, single q and quarter. Okay, now we have seen for the year, we have seen it for the quarter. Now we will go and we will check for the interval, that is the month. So here if you see, the month one is very simple, like you can easily figure it out. Simple. So I have added 1 month, so it was January 25th, now it became February 25th. And if I do a -1, simple, it will again go to the previous year of the month, previous it goes to the previous year of that particular year, previous month of the previous year. Okay, so it went to 2020 12 25. Okay, now I will add day of the year. So now day of the year and day works as same. So I have added one day over on 30th of January, February, March, April. On the April month, I have added one day. So it became 5th of the month. So it became 5th. So similarly, I will check for this one and you can see it is the same one, that one day is added. So you can write like this or you can write like this as well. That is, there's no difference. Okay, so now moving on to week. So how you can write it? So like you will write week comma 1. So 1 week will be added over here. So it was 3 earlier. Now we will check. It became 10. 3 plus 7, because 7 1 week contains 7 days. So it became 10. 10 of 10th of, so I will make it January. So it will be very easy. So now we will see 10th of January. Earlier it was 3rd of January. Now it became 10th of January because 1 week contains 7 days. Okay, now weekday. So I have added weekday. So now again I will make it like this. So it will be very easy for us to understand. So if you see weekday added. So I have added 1 week over here. So if you can see, this is 2021 01 and 3. So now day of weekday, I have added one day, so it became 3. From 3 it became 4. Now similarly it will work for hours. Okay, and then for minute, if I add the 1 hour, it will become 0001, and if I add 1 minute, it will become 001. 0001. Okay, if I can also add the seconds as well. To add seconds, if I add seconds, it will become like this. If I am removing sorry, here I'm removing the second, here I am adding the seconds. So if you can see, I have added the second, and seconds are added to this particular date. Now we have seen these, all these intervals to the date, how to manipulate this. Because whenever we are dealing with dates, we have the year, the month, the quarter, the week, no, the day, hours, minutes, seconds. So all these 7 to 8 parameters we have, we call them intervals. As you can see, remember these intervals, and we will be using these into the dates whenever we are doing the manipulation on the dates. Okay, so now moving on to our next function, that is date diff. So date diff is you basically used for taking or getting the difference between the dates. So here also we will have the interval, and here the same interval will be considered. So here we will have two dates and one interval. So on the basis of what you want to take the difference from the day one, sorry, date one and date two. So like if you want to consider the years. At the time you will write year and then the date one and then date two, and it will tell the difference, how many years of difference is there. So again we will have the same intervals for this. Then we will go and we will check for that particular date diff function. So here if you see, I have 2022, 05 and 25, and here I have 2012. So I will make it easier by changing the date to 0505. Now I will check this. So I have minus 10 years of difference between the first and the second one. So if I change this, if I change this to this, so how it is doing, it is executing from the backside. Okay, it is executing from the backside. Understand the sequence is as well, because the sequence is important here. Date 1 is this and date 2 is this. Okay, so read it from the backward, read it from here. So this is my date 2022 to 2012. Okay, now if I do the same calculation for quarter, so if you see, what is the difference, how many quarters difference over here. If I execute it, I can see that it is of 40, 40 quarters are there is a difference of 40 quarters. If I go and if I check for the months, how many months? 120, because it is 10 10 to 10 multiplied by 12, that is 120. Okay, so now if I check it for day of the year, 36365, you can do a calculation on your calculator and you can check that these many days are coming and they are correct or not. So you can check it for the day, you can check it for the week as well, you can check it for hour, you can check it for minutes, you can check it for seconds and milliseconds. So all these difference will be calculated and you will be getting all those differences. So when you have when the date diff will work or will help you. So when you have two dates and you want to check, okay, how many days are after, what is the difference between these 2 days, or how many months are passed between first date and second date, or if you are calculating a salary for the employee whose final full and final settlement is going to be done on the basis of the number of months or number of days he worked for the organization, because every organization calculate his salary on the per day basis. So at that time we won't be going by the months, we will be going by the dates, sorry, by the days. So at the time that day is important. So using this function we can calculate the date days difference of 2 months or two different dates. Okay, so now moving on to our next method, that is date from parts. So what is date from parts? So again this method will also consider three parameters, that is day, sorry, year, month and day. It returns the specified parts, so like how it is used and why it is used. So date from parts is basically takes three parameters. So the first parameter is the year, the second is the month. It could be the year would be in 4 digits, the month would be from 1 to 12, and the day would be from 1 to 31. Okay, because the maximum day in a month could be 31st. Okay, so now example would be select date from parts 2022, 09 and 19. So the output would be like this. It will sum up all the year, month and date into one unit, and it will create the date from part. So now what it is doing, it is arranging all the parts, that is year, date and month. Okay, so if I execute this, I will be getting the whole date. Okay, so most of the time or certain scenarios are there where you are taking the day, the year of the joining of an employee, where you are taking the month of the joining of the employee, and where you are taking the only the days of the joining of the employee, and on the basis of those three tables you want to create the date of joining that of that particular employee. So at that time, date from parts method will help you to arrange all the day, year, month, and day to a particular segregated date, so that you will get a complete date, and you can do a manipulation, or you can use it for further manipulation. So now, moving to our next method, that is date name. So what it does is it simply takes the interval, as we have seen the intervals, and it will take the date, and then it will convert that whatever interval you have given to it. So it, whether it could be year, it could be month, it could be day, it could be quarter. Now, okay, all these it will take, and it will convert. Now the date part, we have seen the date from parts. Now this method is date part. So it works similarly. It takes the interval, and it take the date, two parameters, and then it do the processing on those two uh, parameters. So now the example would be, I have taken this example. So if you take date name, so and you give a particular date, that is 2022 0920. So at that time you write a interval name, that what exactly you want. I want month, so it will give me the month, the name of the month, because it's a date name. I want the name. So this is give, this can give only the name of that particular month only, because day does not have any any name, and year does not, also does not have any name. So this is for this, that is all for today. I will I will show you the examples. Date name, so the date name is this. So now this is date name. For day is 20 over here, and date part, if I show you for day, that is again 20. So there's no difference in date name and date part, as you can see. Okay, then I have this date name and date part. So now here also, if you see, there is a difference. So date name function gives me the name of that particular month, but date part does not give me the month name. It gives me the number, only number. That is partitioning of the date. So date from parts is used to arrange all the dates, and date part is used to break the date into into different parts, that is month, year, day. Okay, now date name, date, year. Now this is also again same, and this is also will be same. So this is, now this function day of year. So what is doing here is telling us what is the day, or on 20th of September, what will be the day of that particular year. So if you consider January 2021, or January 2021 2, I will take this, it will be very easy. So now consider this. Now this is the day of the year, that is the first day of the year. If I do it this way or this way, you can easily tell that it is the 20th day of that particular year, because it's from January. But if it is December, December, you might be confused, like what exactly the date or day of the year is. So day of the year is 354, that particular day of the year. So that's all for today for date functions. I have went very fast for the date functions. I know you need to practice all these functions by your own to understand what exactly they are used for. then you will get some more clarity on those particular functions. Then into our next tutorial we will be discussing about the built-in string functions, what are those string functions and how they are going to be used. Okay, so till then, take care, bye bye, thank you.